We got back from vacation, modified our procedure, and now we have done this one, which gave us 33.5 and 34, pretty much 34. We did that one 2 cylinders ago, and then I just got done with this one. They're opposite though, because they're on the separate sides of the engine. So that's the low side, and then the low side should be over there. I think it's safe to say that 33 was our number. Now we're at 33 3/4, so we got about a plus 1,000 pull right there. So it worked great for this one, because we started out here at 26 to 28, and now we're at 33, 34. Between 31 and 33 and 30.5. I don't think that number is worth changing the bushing again, but it's shown that if we do change a bushing, we will have 33, 34, and 33 3/4 total. Pretty much 34 protrusion if we wanted to do it again, but I don't think a couple thousandths is worth it. So this right here, we're finally gonna put it back together again and be done and be happy with it. Be happy with our numbers. See, we're at 30s all here, 30.5, 31, 30.5, and then 33 3/4. So this is the second one. Like I said, we now can hit a certain number consistently. Loving it. We're gonna put the guide seat machine up, put all our rod stuff up, figure out where we're gonna store it at, and move on. And now let's go ahead and buy another engine gasket kit and put this sucker together for good. That's our goal. So this is what we wound up doing to make it happen. I'm gonna do this because I might forget next time I need to pull this thing out. Who knows how long it's gonna be before we need bushings again. So I need to put some nuts on here. That way I can tighten this down and then tighten that down. Put the 8mm pilot upside down in our hole that we drilled. I drilled this hole just this morning, and it wound up working great. But that locks it in real tight, trues it up. And then this one has a 4/1000 feeler gauge right here. So my plan right now is gonna be to surface this once we get it all apart. And I got the surfacer out and running. Maybe the next job or something, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and I'll surface it from 4/1000, or from 4/1000 over here to nothing over here. Because I had it 4/1000 up like that with a feeler gauge twice, and it did the exact same thing. It was great. Yeah, so 4/1000 cut out. I abandoned the indicator. I don't really need it because we know what this number is. I'm not trying to move it. I'm not trying to adjust it. I'm letting the pilots, it worked absolutely phenomenally to let the pilot decide where it goes. All this crap is doing is just holding it where the pilot wants it at, and it works freaking great. So, yep, I got the surfacer on this side, which I might wind up changing that. Yep, all the parts, a little bracket down here on the bottom. Hopefully I remember it. Hopefully I remember. Got 1 bolt all thread right there, because a lot of these blocks, I need these to surface with. So I take them apart. They're just gonna be on the shelf with all the parts are just gonna be laying around like that. And I'm gonna have to remember how to put this back together like this. Best of luck to me. But that's freaking awesome though. It worked great. Let's get this behind us and get this engine in for good. Okay, so holy freaking crap. I know we've been here before. Well, we're here again now. I'm happy with all the numbers. We can fine tune these. I was fine tuning them as we were going. But we can run, I can hit 33 3/4, 33.5 and 34 consistently on. So that's freaking nice. That one's a little off right there, 4/1000, but I've taken I've put in factory rods in before in there. We won't be that far out. Some of them are kind of hard to read. 32 and 28 and 33.5 and 34. But here's these are now delinted, de-oiled, clean and dry. Open up another set of head gaskets, but what I think I'm gonna do, see, I'm keeping these head gaskets right here, and I think I'm gonna put these suckers on our white dually. These head gaskets that sat torqued down for a week, they were torqued for a week. Engine never ran, but I'm not gonna sell those. We're gonna go ahead and open up a new kit, and I'm gonna test that and see if we can take head gaskets loose, as long as the sealant's all there, I guess. I haven't really looked at those that close. But if the sealant's all there, can we reuse those if they haven't been ran? And that, not so much a big deal nowadays, but used to be back in old times that people would consistently want to take their heads off a fresh engine because the engine they bought did not come studded. Happened a lot. So this one isn't. I'm gonna test it, but we're gonna test it with Felpro, so we kind of got a leg up. We are now almost back where we started at. Let's torque these heads again. Deck surfaces are all done and we're ready to go. Push rods, like I said, all this has already been installed in the engine. But you know what? I feel a hell of a lot better about it now, and we can replicate it. I feel that we can replicate. We can go, right now what I've got is +1 connecting rods. +1, I can replicate that. Which would be 1/1000th longer than factory. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. Because I should have hit 33 and I hit about 34. But for now, we're gonna torque the freaking heads on again. Let's do it. So now I'm gonna tape up this block heater that I forgot. I forgot to do the block heater. Also, now is the time to put all the little pieces on, like this little metal bracket there. I just had to, that down there. I just had to tape that onto the battery cable, that one right there, and put it behind the transmission bracket. But now I want to run the block heater, which it had a cut in it. It was cut. So I did a bunch of heat shrink on it and just threw one piece in the middle. That's the longest I had. Now we're gonna tape it up, and I had to get this one, that one right there. I had to get the placement for where this is gonna be because there's 4 push pins. There's 4 of these on the block heater that go onto the battery cable. And it's supposed to run along the battery cable, but he had a damage here and it was a little short. So I'm gonna go straight over. I'm not gonna go down under the transmission lines right there like the battery cable does. Hopefully it's out of the way of the AC compressor. We'll see when we get that far. But little things like, let's route this so that it's not just draped across with zip ties like everybody else does.